Okay, we are live.
We
Hey,
sure are.
Joe.
Hey, Lex. You know me. I like to take my glasses off at least for the beginning before I jump in because I hate when ring lights show into your reflection in cameras or not cameras in glasses. That,
Gotcha.
that bothers me. So I'm actually, for those of you who are just tuning in, this is Film Diaries with Joe and Lex. I am Joe. That's my girl Lex.
I am Lex.
Today, we are going to be talking about our top 3 favorite Black biopics, and we will also have a list of honorable mentions. Um, yeah, we're getting ready for Black History Month. Who's excited? Are you excited, Lex? I'm ready for Black History Month. I'm always ready.
That is my favorite month, and it sucks that it's the shortest. So I celebrate Black history all year long.
Woo, woo. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So
Yeah.
let me tell you this.
Okay.
Uh-oh, did I lose you? Oh,
No.
okay. It's a delay. It's a delay.
Oh, okay. No
Yeah.
fun. Sorry, y'all. It's a little delay.
Yeah.
I'm
No
also
worries.
updating our Instagram. So if you see me not looking directly at the camera, it's because I am managing some socials over here.
You know
Okay.
what? We should probably go live on our Instagram as well. But what I was gonna say about Black History Month is I am challenging myself and you all who are chiming in to do 28 days of Black. There's a challenge that I am doing for my college days page called 28 Days of Black, which was founded on the campus of Bennett College. Joe and I are both proud grads, but it was founded by our Bennett sister, Ife. So I want to keep the tradition. I remember when she brought it to us in college, I was so excited, like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, there was a challenge finding Black owned businesses. So, what is 28 Days of Black? You have to patronize Black businesses for 28 days,
Yes.
period. And it sounds like, oh, no big deal. But then you think, like, where are the Black owned gas stations? Where are the Black owned grocery stores? Yes, yes. So do your research, and I'm going to follow up with you guys in a few of our episodes throughout February. So that's what I'm challenging myself to do for this upcoming February. How about you, Joe? Any challenges or anything you're doing to celebrate Black history?
To celebrate Black History Month this year, I am going to be focusing on as many Black self-care products as I can.
Okay.
So that is including but not limited to candles, fragrances, jewelry, any way that I can spoil myself. I want to spoil myself Black. So I am going to be very conscious this year about purchasing anything that's Black owned glamour. So like Pat McGrath is one of my favorite cosmetic lines. So I will definitely be purchasing some more Pat McGrath. And there are a few Black jewelers that I've started to follow because of one of my girlfriends. Yes. So to get into it, Maggie Simpkins is one of them. So I'll try to make sure I, in the show notes, throw in a couple of these people that I'm talking about for those that don't know. So yeah, I'm big on self-care, choosing me, and this is 2020 win. Okay. That's kind of a little bite off of Lydia's 2021 WON. I'm saying 2020 win, okay, because I'm ready for some more winning this year. And I'm gonna weed through self-care and taking care of myself and spoiling myself Black, girl.
I ain't mad at you. Okay. I'm probably going to hop on that bandwagon as well. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's on me. But I think as a side note, I'm going to also go live on my Instagram.
Okay.
Just for the
I'll
simple
do the
fact.
same. How about we include one another?
Okay. All right. So I'll go live.
Okay, you're gonna go live, and then I'll join your live.
Okay. So hopefully let me flip this around. Okay. I hope the volume won't sound crazy because of the way I have things situated, but I am going, hey, I'm going to add you right now. Let's see. More, better, Lex. Okay, send request. So I've just requested you, Alexis. We are also streaming. So for those of you that are tuning in, this is,
Oh, it's gonna pick up.
I mean, that interference is what I was concerned about.
Yeah. How about we turn down our phones? Would that help?
Okay, I just turned mine all the way down.
I can still hear.
I think I can too. And I'm like, if I turn, okay, maybe if we turn down on the computer.
Yeah, I'm muted on the computer.
Oh, you muted me on the computer. So we'll keep the IG
Well,
live.
would that mess up our audio?
Y'all bear with us. We are still learning how all this works. My mustache looks strong.
This is our first time.
So we're trying to utilize new technology as we capitalize on old technology. Old technology being Instagram Live and new technology being StreamYard. So I don't know. I'm not sure which one is better, actually. And I don't know if it's, sorry, I can hear my mama laughing. I'm not sure if I turn down here, if I mute here. I'm not sure. I'm still learning. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just stick with StreamYard. And then we can have clips that we can upload to our Instagrams.
Okay. So sorry, Instagram followers. I love all of you. Thank you so much for those who tuned in real quick. Let me put my glasses on so I can see.
But don't leave us. You guys can catch us on StreamYard.
Oh, hey, Caleb. I love Caleb. Like, oh my God, Lexi, you would love him. He is, number one, he's a musical genius. He's like a virtuoso, and he's only like 20. And number two, he's just like the sweetest guy in the world. So sweet. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. So guys, for those of you that tuned in, this is Film Diaries with Joe and Lex, where we are going through some of our favorite movies and shows throughout both the Black diaspora and the cinema world in general. So we are not specific to celebrating just Black cinema. We are we are celebrating all cinema. We just happen to be Black focused. So right now we are actually streaming on our, oh, thank you. So you know what, I feel like we should keep both going. Are we like 100% that we want to stop the live and just focus on StreamYard?
Let's continue. It's fine.
I hope this doesn't have echo on it when we post it on YouTube. We're still figuring this out, y'all. I know we sound crazy. We sound like two crazy daisies. I know we do. Thank you for this love, though, that we're getting, even though we sound like we have no clue what we're doing.
I'm not seeing any other messages. How come I can't see them?
I have no idea. I was watching Tracy Thomas on live yesterday, and she actually couldn't see her messages from nobody else. So I don't know. But so just so I'll give you all a little preview right here. Let me flip this around so you can see. So on StreamYard, you'll be able to see our full PowerPoint that is going to highlight what we're talking about and the movies that we love. I know you can see all the reflection in the background because of the color and everything. But we will also be posting this on Instagram. I mean, just kidding. YouTube. So make sure you follow our YouTube channel, Film Diaries with Joe and Lex, two sisters celebrating cinema. That is our logo. Follow us on Instagram as well. So I think we're actually going to hop off of here and we're going to focus on the YouTube, and I guess we'll jump back on. Okay. When we're done officially recording and kind of give a recap. We can do that?
Okay. Yeah. That's cool. That's fair.
So peace and love. Thank you all so much for tuning in for this quick breakdown. Remember, follow us, Film Diaries with Joe and Lex. We are actually going to record our YouTube right now, and then we'll hop back on here to catch all of you up. So
thank y'all. See you soon. And we're back.
Okay, and we are back, solely focused. I think as time goes on, we will definitely be able to figure out how to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
We're just works in progress. We're just learning as we go.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into it. Are you ready, Alexis?
I was born ready.
Yes. So today we are celebrating the best Black biopics of all time. Like I said, we're just going to be highlighting our favorite 3, but we also have a list of honorable mentions. And remember, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you have to say about some of your most memorable Black biopics. Also, we will be doing a follow-up of best white biopics, or we'll be doing white and Spanish, because there have also been some awesome Spanish biopics by women of color that we want to make sure that we celebrate. So this is all inclusive. Yeah, Salinas. So this right now is just focusing on some Black biopics that are pretty memorable for us, and let's get into it. So let's start from the top.
All right.
Alexis, do you want to talk about our first feature here?
The 5 Heartbeats.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up, stand up, stand up. Let me know that you understand. Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight?
Oh,
I love when they did that. Like,
that
was one of the highlights of the movie.
For sure.
One of the highlights. So, quick side note: The 5 Heartbeats was directed by Robert Townsend, and in creating the 5 Heartbeats, he also like filmed the making of the 5 Heartbeats, and I went to go see it in the theaters maybe 2 years ago, and it opened my mind about all the behind the scenes things that may go on. Fun facts, okay? Eddie King was really showing up to rehearsal and filming intoxicated. And him and Dresser were really beefing with each other. They were really fighting. That was not fake. That fight was a real fight. Wow. In the scene when they're it's like an alley and they just start fighting. Yeah. That was not written, okay? But Robert Townsend said, let's keep it.
As all good directors do, okay?
Yeah, let's keep it. Okay. Also, John Cheeto. Did you guys know that John Cheeto?
Don Cheeto?
Don Cheeto, that's his name?
D-O-N, yes.
Don, yeah.
It sounded like you were saying John Cheeto.
Oh, no, Don. I'm like, that's his name, right? Okay, I actually have notes in my phone.
Oh, okay.
But he auditioned to be a part of the cast. Now, I don't know if he could sing.
Oh, I had heard that.
I don't know if he could sing, but he did. Say that again?
Could any of them really?
Robert Townsend couldn't.
Right. Well, he
was lip singing, but he was like, this is my film, and you guys are going to put me in here. Also, another fun fact, they recorded that film from end to beginning. They recorded it backwards. And guess why?
Was it cheaper?
The hair. So one of the actors had long hair. I think it was Leon. And something about the wigs and the hair, they had to film it from end to beginning.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry. What was Big Red's office hours?
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Okay.
Was it necessary that he had to put that guy over the balcony?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Big Red was out of control. because
Mhm.
it's out of control.
Yeah.
Even though I love Hawthorne James, I think he's a great actor, and I think that he does not get his due.
He
And
doesn't.
he does not get his due. And he is someone that, number one, I would love to meet. And number two, for the next like spooky movie I do, I would love to have him play, the villain
Ooh.
good guy. You know,
Ooh.
like
Yeah.
I think he would be great for a part like that. So
He gives me spooky vibes. His character held so much weight. Like I was gonna, if he said his office hours were 9 to 5, I was not gonna hit him up at 5:01. Period.
it wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't
Uh,
gonna
no.
happen. And
And
we saw what happened when you didn't honor that fate. You
I don't want to know. I
it
did not. I don't
really,
want no parts of Big Red.
it was bad. But just to go through these facts that are on the screen really quickly, it was released on March 29th, 1991, with a runtime of 2 hours and 2 minutes. The writer was Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans. Director, Robert Townsend. The music composition was Stanley Clark. The studio was 20th Century Fox. The cinematographer was Bill Dill. This was starring Robert Townsend, Michael Wright, Leon, Diane Carroll, and Hawthorne James, just to name a few. So what was great about this story for me was that it was the combination of several groups kind of all into one. This was something of like the quintessential um, R&B group. Like this is what they went through. The Five Heartbeats could have been the Temptations. The Five Heartbeats could have been the Supremes. The Five Heartbeats could have been the Dells. The Five Heartbeats could have been which is kind of how they wrote it and envisioned it. So I also just want to talk about really quickly what a genius Robert Townsend is. I mean, we'll be doing an episode that is, well, actually, I haven't told Lex this, but I've been thinking about it. So I'm going to tell you now.
Okay. I like surprises.
So the best type of prize is a surprise. So I really want to do an episode that is dedicated solely to Robert Townsend. He is one of the directors and writers that also does not get his due, and I want to give him his flowers today. Yeah, and that's why I started this off with the Five Heartbeats. I mean, even by the time the Five Heartbeats came around, he had already had success directing other movies. I mean, and of course, we know some of his later works. But Robert Townsend was really a visionary and a pioneer, similar to Keenan Ivory Wayans. And that's why the Five Heartbeats, as heartfelt and as sweet and as warm and as touching as it is also hilarious. I mean, this is one of the funniest movies. I mean, just from them fighting, come on, Duck. Like, his name is Duck. Like, I can't. So, is there anything else that you want to share about the Five Heartbeats before we keep
Yes. So during the film that I was watching, Making the Five Heartbeats, I found out that the Five Heartbeats storyline was originally supposed to be about the Temptations, but due to copyrights and all this other jazz, they ended up doing the story about the Dells. I felt like that was really interesting because I'm sure the Five Heartbeat, I mean, yes, we already have a Temptation movie, but I'm pretty sure there was way more that they could have added on to that movie. And I would like to explore more stuff. Like, why wasn't people coming to see Otis?
Good night. Oh my God. Was there. What you mean? It was about David Ruffin. That's why.
Right. But you know what? Speaking of which, Leon needs more flowers. He
does.
He is a phenomenal actor.
Okay, well.
You don't think so?
Phenomenal.
If
you ever see this, please don't hate me. But okay. I don't want to say it that way. What I want to say is he plays the good. He has been typecast into a certain type of role, and he plays that role really, really well.
He does.
For example,
I agree on that.
Okay, like his typecast, it's not the same, but it's in the same space of like Blair Underwood. Blair Underwood plays the sexiest bad guy ever in like everything. I mean, I think when I first fell in love with him, there was this movie called um, Justice. Was it Justice? Now I have to Google it. So excuse me, y'all, while I look this up. But Blair Underwood, basically, like, you feel bad for him, and then you find out that he's actually the bad guy.
Yeah. He always giving bad guy vibes, especially in like every movie. He's always like playing the domestic violent husband, boyfriend, side guy. I don't know. He gives me that lets me know that he plays his role well, because I feel some type of way when I see him on the screen.
Just Cause. That's what it was called. Just Cause. And it was starring the late Sean Connery as well. And it is, I don't want to give it away, because if you haven't seen it, yes, it is definitely something worth seeing. And this is early Blair Underwood. This movie was released in, I believe, 1995. That's just glancing at what's right in front of me. So I'm not entirely sure if that's the correct date, but with a little more research, then I'll know. So yeah, Blair Underwood and Sean Connery were amazing in Just Cause. But to bring us back to the 5 Heartbeats, is there anything else that?
Yes. Did you know that Denzel Washington auditioned for Eddie King's role? And I can't see Denzel doing that. Sorry.
No.
That's
honestly, I can't see Don Cheadle in anything for this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
You know, I mean, and Don Cheadle like did his thing in Hotel Rwanda. I mean, that when he paid Paul Rusesabagina, yeah, I was glued. You know, not just because it was a heartbreaking story, but like he was excellent in it. Yeah, I definitely cannot see anyone else playing anything else except for who he played, and that speaks to the genius of Robert Townsend.
Mm-hmm. You know? Also, Leon never auditioned for his role as JT Matthews. Because he's been in that role, hint, hint, David Ruffin. They were like, okay, we already know what you can bring to the table. Bring in Leon. No more auditions. Cut. And Leon never auditioned. Also, young Whitney Houston was supposed to play the role of Baby Doll. Did you know that?
No.
So the reason why she didn't play Baby Doll is because at that time, her manager said that role was too small.
Too small. Okay. Mm-hmm. I could only imagine, because I mean, by the 90s, you know, Whitney was a powerhouse.
Okay, let me rewind. The film was shot in reverse due to the cost of wigs. Each actors had to grow their hair out. That's why. Oh
my goodness. Okay. All right, Lex coming through. All right, so we don't want to stay on this too long.
Just one more last thing. Yes. This is really, really heartfelt. So okay. David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks from The Temptations, they also helped Robert Townsend with the film. I believe it was like donations, and David Ruffin was very excited about the film. However, before the film was completed, he passed away. David Ruffin passed right before the film was completed. Stevie Wonder sung at David Ruffin's funeral. The 5 Heartbeats was supposed to be about the Temptations, but due to legal reasons, Robert Townsend changed it to be about the Dells. Robert Townsend, just to talk about his character, okay? Robert Townsend put together a charity concert because David Ruffin's family was unable to bury him. Like they didn't have enough money to bury him. So Gladys Knight, Stevie Wonder, and other singers at the time, they put together a concert, and the proceeds went to the burial of David Ruffin.
Yeah. That is so heartfelt. That is so heartfelt, and that definitely speaks to his character. So, like I said, we're gonna do this episode on Robert Townsend because he needs all his flowers today. All right, can we move on?
Yep, I think that sums up all the fun facts I have about the Five Heartbeats. Also, but one last thing, let me tell you how the Five Heartbeats have. Let's talk about how the Five Heartbeats have touched us personally. That's one of those movies where it gives me some source of warmth. I feel connected to that film because it reminds me of family. Like families go through different things, and everybody is trying to. I think Duck, which was played by Robert Townsend, I think he and JT were trying to do better for their family so they can go back and take care of mom, dad, little sister. And a lot of us,
and all the rest of them, they had like a huge.
yeah, it was a lot of kids, right?
Yeah.
But they were in bunk beds. They were, you know, they
one
there was
another.
definitely a struggle there. I'm sorry.
I said they were sleeping on top of one another. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a struggle there, and I feel like a lot of families, they want to be successful so they can help mom, dad, brother, sister, etc., grandma. And
grandma.
That it was just so touching to me. And then it also showed me how people were stealing other people's music back then.
I mean, well, that wasn't a secret.
That wasn't a secret, but y'all really gonna put somebody else's face on my album with my voice on the album? Yep. That's okay? No.
Yep.
But that was accepted back then. Also, the brothers. I love the rivalry between the brothers. It gave us something to look forward to. Like, what is Shy brother? Shy brother. You really gonna take the girl?
I literally had a guy who did that with his daughter to me one time, and he's like, he's like, go play Shy brother, and like I heard him, and then like the little daughter comes up to me, and she's just like, hi, you know, and he was like, you know, like my daughter's really shy, but she wanted to say that like she really likes your like your necklace or your shoes, whatever I had on, and I was like,
this is weird. This is awkward.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's just memorable. It's a heartfelt movie. It's something that is representative of the times, and I love a good timepiece. So I think that's all I have to say about the Five Heartbeats. We only got a few more minutes, so we want to make sure we get through all of our movies, because on our honorable mentions, I do have a few things I definitely want to say.
Ooh,
yeah, okay. About some of these movies. So our next movie is, drumroll please, Love Got to Do With It, girl.
This is my favorite movie, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to stop saying guys. This is my favorite biopic.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I absolutely adore What's Love Got to Do With It. So I'm going to just run through these specifications really quickly. It was released on June 9th in 1993, a runtime for an hour and 58 minutes. The writer is Kate Lanier. She's really who did the screenplay. Tina Turner did write her own story, as well as another collaborator who I don't have on here. The director was Brian Gibson. The studio was Touchstone Pictures. The cinematographer, Jamie Anderson. Music composed by Daniel Allen Carlin. Starring Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne, Jennifer Lewis, Vanessa Bell Calloway. Costume design by Ruth E. Carter, who's also known for Down in the Delta.
And Black Panther.
And Black Panther. Duh. How did I leave that off there? I saw that. You know what? That's because I made this slide in a rush. I made this slide. Okay. It's been a long week, girl. It's been a long week.
And she's an HBCU grad. Shout out to Hampton.
You know, we love our HBCUs.
Yes.
So, what it has to do with it is the iconic story, for those that don't know, about Tina Turner and her beginnings, all the way from when she was Anime Bullock to when she became Tina Turner, married to the genius but abuser Ike Turner. We watched their life unfold, her relationships with her family and herself, you know, and how she learns how to choose herself. I think one of the themes that is presented in this biopic to me was the power of friendship, because you know it's Vanessa Bell Calloway who played Jackie. Was it Jackie?
Yeah, Jackie.
Jackie. You know, Jackie. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Right, and she was like, "It is not okay to let someone have a beat on you." I mean, that, you know, and who brings her to Buddhism is Jackie. You know, so I remember as a kid kind of looking at that and thinking, "Wow, you know, friendship is." But let me tell you, before I let you give your opinion, one thing that did not work for me in the movie, but as you get older, unfortunately, it's a part of real life. Is when Ike is beating Tina, which happens often in the movie. This movie, as wonderful, I always feel weird when I say how much I love it, because the abuse in the movie is a lot to digest. It is definitely rated R. It is not kid friendly or kid safe. But you know, there's a part where they're having a pool party and a bunch of people are
that one's always hard to watch.
That is always difficult to watch. I mean, all of it is hard to watch, but to know that, like, I know for sure that my girlfriends would not sit and watch me get beaten up or hear me screaming, and not somebody would pick up a knife, you know. And I don't know if it's because like I'm kind of like that, so I surround myself with people that are also like that, but they would intervene whether I wanted them to or not. You know,
but also keep in mind of the time.
Absolutely. I'm not saying anything against the scene. I'm just saying that it's always so difficult for me to watch. You know, and even, I mean, my grandmother, like, it depends on who you were as well, because you know, my family, they're pretty I don't want to call them aggressive, but like if you hit them, they're gonna hit you regardless of who you are. Like, period. Put that on everything. You know, the time to fight is now. Like, it's not later. It's right now. Like, you got something to do, I got something to do too. So, which from my understanding, I'm like, I feel like your mom is so soft and like gentle that like she's not the same way to the same extent. I mean,
whose mom?
Your mama. Your grandmother. Your grandmother.
Okay, my grandmother. Because my mom, different story.
Okay. Because, you know, my mother and my grandmother, they was ready to throw hands.
Yeah, that's my mom.
So that's how I can like understand, or not understand maybe, because they are born in the 1960s and 1929 and 1930s, and they was all like, you know, what a behead. So, wow. Or they were back in the day. So yeah, I'm always conflicted. Like, I love this because it was such an amazing portrayal, and I think Angela Bassett outdid herself in this role. But it is very hard to watch. It is not for the faint of heart when it comes to abuse and highlighting what some abusive relationships really do look like.
So I will have to say, I will give this film 2 thumbs up, mainly because yes, it was abusive, but her life on the other side, she walked away and said, I don't want nothing from you. I just want the last name, because she had built that brand. Why give up the brand, right?
The name, because remember, Tina wasn't her name.
Yeah.
She didn't become Anime Turner. She became Tina Turner.
Yeah.
So she was like, I can use my name.
You
know.
So I do have some questions now that we're really talking about it. Why did her mom leave her with her grandma but took her sister, who was just a couple of years older? That did not make sense to me. Maybe because the mom felt like, okay, it's a little easier having one child. Yeah, she's older, she's more independent. But that just baffled me. Like, and Tina had to do a lot of forgiving with her mom. Her mom kind of sold her out a couple of times in her life.
Kinda.
Well, I'm trying to be nice here.
Where she was.
Yeah.
I was like, my mama would never, and I put that on everything. My mom she wouldn't have even answered the phone. Should have you called me at this time. It's you. Goodbye. You know? No, my mama would have been outside picking me up.
Yeah.
Oh, like my mom would have been like, let's go. You ain't got to deal with this. So very different. But I think there was an element to that level of life. Once you get used to a certain lifestyle, some people, no matter what the cost, they will work
do anything to keep it. Yeah.
You know, and he was throwing her money. We knew that.
Big money.
Big money.
Another part, let's see. I just, how can I skip over this? Angela Bassett delivered. She delivered. For the longest, I didn't know if she was Angela or was she Tina. You know, when I watched it, I mean, it came out in '93. I probably watched it a few years later. So, when I could remember, it was a few years later.
I was say, like, define a few, because girl, you was only what, like 3?
Yeah. So when I did watch it and it was memorable and I understood, I was like, Angela Bassett is phenomenal. I think that movie made me. That movie was the movie that made me say she's my favorite actress.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had multiple favorite actresses, but Angela Bassett was certainly at the top.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't get enough recognition for that movie alone.
No, it won a few awards, but not. It didn't bring it home the way it should have.
Yeah.
I mean, this was really phenomenal. So, you know me, I don't want to stay on anything too long. So, are there any other thoughts that you would like to share very quickly before we get to our third and final top?
I mean, I could talk about this movie
all day.
So I'll hold my peace and move on to the next slide.
Catch us on IG Live so that she could really go in about how she feels about this.
Yeah. And our Instagram is in the follow us at Film Diaries with Joe and Lex.
Yes.
And then we have our personal Instagrams that's
on the
gliding across the screen.
Yes.
Follow us there as well.
All right. So our last one, may I get a drum roll, please?
Ray. Ooh.
Girl. Ray.
Jamie Foxx delivered. Oh. Ruth did the costume design for this one as well?
Girl, Ruth was everywhere, okay? Ruth was everywhere. But you know, I actually have to make sure that that's not a typo because I had copied and pasted a few things. So
okay, no problem.
Let me just double check. But we can get started on the conversation while we're here. So it was released on October 29th, 2004. Runtime for 2 hours and 32 minutes. Written by Taylor Hackford. He did the story, and James L. White also did the story and the screenplay. The director was Taylor Hackford. The studio was Crusader Entertainment LLC, Unchained My Heart, Louisiana. Cinematographer Paul Edelman. Music composed by Craig Armstrong. Starring Jamie Foxx, Kerry Washington, Regina King, Clifton Powell, Harry Lennox. If you remember him, he was also in The 5 Heartbeats. Bokeem Woodbine, and Anjanou Ellis. For those that have watched Lovecraft Country, she plays Hippolyta. So costume design, I'm actually double checking because I'm not sure that information is correct. So Lex, start us off. What do you love about Ray?
What do I love about Ray? The first thing, I need to stop saying The first thing that I want to cover is Jamie Foxx. Wow. As an actor, he had his eyes glued for some time while filming. And he
had his eyes glued. What do you mean?
well, like shut. So he was like really blind.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did that for some time. I don't want to say how long, but it was like maybe 3 months. He went around and he really, really went into character.
That reminds me of Halle Berry when she was in Jungle Fever. She didn't shower for like 5 days so that she could tap
Ooh,
into so that she could tap into her role of being a junkie.
wow.
So those are what you call not period actors. Oh my goodness. The name just like
Over your head.
it was in my head 2 seconds ago and then it just left. It'll come back to me.
Yep.
Come back to me.
So,
I,
what I really loved is how Jamie Foxx took a deep dive into being Ray. Now, prior to this film, I heard the name Ray Charles, but this gave me imagery. This gave me, I learned about his music. I learned about the era of Ray Charles, what was going on and with segregation. I also learned about heroin. I had no idea how heroin worked, and not that I'm interested, but let's get
I'm
that
about to you
clear.
gotta go get some.
Let's get that clear. But I learned so much about how his mom manifest that he was going to be great no matter what happened to him.
Right.
She instilled in him confidence. She instilled in him being honest. She instilled speaking up for himself because she knew that she wasn't going to be on earth forever, and he still had to learn how to navigate by himself with or without his sight. So props go out to mom. The lady who played Ray Charles, she was actually homeless before she got that role.
The
And we
relate
haven't seen her since.
Wait, the lady who played Ray Charles was homeless?
His mom.
I'm just saying.
The lady who played Ray Charles's mom was homeless. And
she hasn't been in anything in
no,
anything since.
no, and I really want to see her again.
Yeah.
Because that funeral scene, she nailed it.
I mean, she nailed all of it. All of it. When the brother dies and
Oh, yeah.
oh, that just broke my heart. Oh, little brother falling in the tub and dying. And so this is when my mom and I were talking about this. So this movie is actually rated PG-13, even with the drug use. And I do think it's important that kids get an understanding of what drugs can do. Not everyone can recover or bounce back or be a functioning addict. Not that I'm promoting that anyone be a functioning addict. I'm just saying that it's a fact of life, and it's important that you see that there are a lot of pitfalls, and not everyone is your friend. Like, he got turned out, not on his own. It's always someone who gives it to you and says, like, oh, this will make the pain go away, or this will make it better. Let me tell you, you need to eat a cheeseburger and go take a nap. That's what you need to do. Granted, that might be some chunky advice, because I'm a little thick in the hips, but I do think that it is solid. Like, of course, you don't do that all the time, but healthy coping mechanisms are necessary, especially when you're in high pressure situations like stardom. So something that I loved about Ray, in addition to what you've already mentioned about his mom being such a source of power, it also portrayed the disparities in well, no, that's not what I want to focus on. I'm sorry. I take that back. Well, one thing that I think is funny is that, when you look at old movies, and let's put everything before, like, let's say 2010, I think 2010 is kind of safe. There was such a concern with fatness. Like, even Ray Charles didn't want a fat girl. He was blind and was like, oh, her wrist, oh, she chunky. Oh, no. I ain't doing that. Her wrist, oh, she pretty. Okay, I could do that. No man is perfect, but I do think that he did the best he could with what he had and was such a genius. Not everyone does everybody right, because he definitely dumped Regina King. He was like, bye. Why you here? No, I ain't gonna marry you. Which I think these old movies in general give a good roadmap into life that's still today. Like you have to, no matter who you are, you have to value yourself because, and you have to understand, like, you'll never change anybody's mind.
Right.
His manager decided that, like, well, I'm gonna start doing him dirty and taking some money off the top. And so that was it. Like, he decided he didn't want to be with Regina King anymore. That was it. He decided he wanted to marry Kerry Washington. That was it. And Kerry was like, hey, what about me and your baby? Like, you got to be around. You can't just be a sometime dad. You need to be present. But also you have to, I mean, she didn't really know when they got married, but he wasn't present because he was a heroin addict, and this idea of kind of knowing what you're getting into, which I think so many of our pioneers really did not know or understand. And for those that, lost their way, let's say, from the church or didn't like stick around, I think that was something we saw in all of these period movies. The Five Heartbeats, Ray,
Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It?
Right. Why do fools fall in love? The Temptations. Like, they all had someone or were the person who was in church, steadfast, Even Regina King's new film, A Night in Miami. Like, all those brothers were all steeped in a faith. And that's what helped them kind of stay grounded and like not do drugs and not overindulge in drinking and not overindulge in women too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's kind of this like loss of innocence that I think Ray goes on this journey. Also and he's running from the hurt of his brother dying. He never really gets over that. But he broke down so many walls and so many barriers. And then, as you are a good person and you're trying to make it, sometimes you attract great people, because he attracts Harry Lennox, who for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of his character. But he's the one who's like, oh, dim the lights so that we can get the crowd to calm down so we can sing a slow song. And Clifton Powell was like, but I've been working with Ray and I know it and but even he got a little greedy. So I'm sorry for rambling the way I did. I'm gonna now. But Ray is definitely, I remember it was like Thanksgiving, and I'm pretty sure I saw this in 2004. It was Thanksgiving, or 2005. It was Thanksgiving. I was at my aunt's house in Georgia, and they made me and my cousin come and watch it because they were like, this is why you don't do drugs. Like, all your waste, and not everybody bounces back from being a drug abuser.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just lose it all. Like Frankie Lyman. Okay, go ahead.
Like who?
Frankie Lyman.
See, that makes me want to go into Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Why do fools fall in love?
Why do birds sing so gay? I hope no one comments on my singing. I know I cannot sing, but I do know that I am Mrs. Frankie Lyman.
I'm Mrs. Frankie Lyman too.
Oh man, imagine.
Woo! Girl, no.
Imagine. Who was your favorite Mrs. Frankie Lyman?
Okay, let's finish talking about Ray, and then we're gonna get to our honorable mentions. Is there anything else that we want to touch on with the delight? She said no.
No, I covered mine.
Okay, well, let's get to our honorable mentions. So we're gonna skip right to Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Okay.
First of all, Larenz Tate was the finest thing I had ever seen.
I second that.
Ever.
I second that.
He was so fine. He was actually finer than the real Frankie Lyman.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
he had more game than a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
And it shows you how men can really live double and triple lives. Like, what was going on? See, it wasn't no cell phones back then, no social media. He wasn't sliding in no DMs.
No.
And he was busy. Frankie was busy.
Frankie was busy. But look, we are getting to our mark. It is 4:28 right now. I hate to interrupt us, but I do think that we should wrap this up and then save a little maybe for next week, where we can go through the rest of our honorable mentions and move on to our next topic, because next week we're celebrating Black History Month. We are not going to release ahead of time what we'll be talking about, but we'll give you little clues on our Instagram as the week goes on.
So you have to follow us on Instagram at Film Diaries with Joe and Lex.
Yes. So thank you so much for all of you tuning in. If there are any movies that you would like us to talk about, feel free to DM us. We are happy to do a little digging, get a little bit of fun facts. Lex is real good at Lex is good for the fun facts. I'm good for like the hard facts. And we will tune in next week. Thank you so much for listening today. Leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to our page, and we'll see y'all soon.
See y'all soon. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Wear a mask.
Wash your hands.
Hello. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.